Welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. Today, we're doing our prep work for 2024 fantasy football season. We're starting out with a mock draft on Yahoo. That's where I do almost 100% of my leagues are in Yahoo Pay Leagues. So I might as well get accustomed to the way that things are being drafted in Yahoo. Let's take a look here. We've got one player on auto draft, which is rare for mock drafts. Normally you get more than that. But after about 3 rounds, you're going to see more auto drafts pop up. Now, the reason I do auto draft or mock drafts is I want to get a feel for where the players are coming into the draft positions. That way I can plan out how my team is going to look in the end. And I chose to be the 8th pick in this draft because it's a difficult spot to draft from. It is very difficult to draft from the 8 position, 9 position, 10 position can be hard, but last year, when I was in these positions, I ended up with a lot of Nick Chubb. Oh, boy. I tell you, that hurt. Poor Nick Chubb, man. That guy, I feel bad for him. What an excellent, amazing talent for him to get hurt like that last year. I hope he can come back and really do great things again because he was having a wonderful career. You know, one of the best running backs in the NFL. But anyhow, what I do is I'll explain this later on. I look over the mock draft results. That way I can see, in this round, what could I have taken that would have improved my team. So after the draft is complete, I just sit there and I look over the draft and I figure out how could I have pieced this together better. One thing that I'm not going to be doing this year, I am not likely to take a running back in the first round. I am very, very, very likely to take a wide receiver in the first round, almost no matter where I am. Okay, so it looks like we're getting underway, and Christian McCaffrey will go first, as normal. Probably Tyreek Hill or CeeDee Lamb, most likely Hill. CeeDee Lamb, what a year last year. He did great. What you got, fellas? And the thing about mock drafts, they go quickly. There's only 30 seconds that you have to pick. You don't have a lot of time. Okay, so there he took Lamb, and then Hill went next. And my dogs are getting restless over here. I don't know if you can hear them through the speaker system, but they're getting restless. All right, Breece Hall went number 4. Breece Hall. If you can repeat last year, that's pretty good numbers. But, CeeDee Lamb, he had an amazing year last year. I had him in a couple of leagues, and that was boosting things up. Jamar Chase, I had him last year as well. But Bijan Robinson, Okay, Bijan Robinson, taking a chance on the Atlanta players. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now here's this is a situation, isn't it, fellas? I could take Justin Jefferson, arguably the best wide receiver in the league. I could take A.J. Brown. That's a tough one. Justin Jefferson without Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. All right, so we started out with Justin Jefferson. I think we're going to have a decent year out of him. Top 10 wide receiver for sure. Top 10 overall player most likely. Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, and Derrick Henry. And Jahmyr Gibbs. See, that's another interesting pick, isn't it? Jahmyr Gibbs. All right, so what am I going to do here? I could take Saquon. Don't know. I could take Kyren Williams. Be a good one. Take A.J. Brown. Be all right. Have a WR1 and a WR1. I'm not taking Josh Allen. I think it's too early this year for me to take a... let's go ahead and try out some Kyren Williams. He had a great year last year outside of his injuries. Everything was going good for him. But those injuries held him back from having an even bigger season. He was only out for what? Few weeks, 3 weeks total? But if you remember, put it down in the comments. Okay, Saquon Barkley. Going to, Philadelphia, how does that work for him? I don't know. Jonathan Taylor finally went with number 15. Take your time, fella. You get 30 seconds. You might as well use all of them. A.J. Brown. So for my next two, I should be looking at what wide receivers and what running backs will be available. We got Joe Mixon, we got Devin Achane, DJ Moore, Nico Collins, Cooper Kupp, Michael Pittman. Let's see who gets back here. Travis Etienne. This could really work out well. All right, so there goes Josh Jacobs and Marvin Harrison Jr. One thing to remember about young wide receivers, okay? I need everybody to pay attention. You don't often see a young wide receiver turn in a top 25 season. Of the first year guys, they can be pretty good, but very rarely are they in that top of the league discussion. So be careful taking a young wide receiver too early. All right, there goes Olave and Drake London. Sam Laporta. Now there's a guy, he come out and that was his rookie year, first year in the league, and he went out and put up the best numbers of any tight end. So, these things do happen occasionally, not very often though. Etienne and Josh Allen. Third round on Josh Allen. No, that is third round. That's amazing. Well, Devontae Adams goes next. And I guess that's the auto draft guy. What are you looking at here? These three guys, a lot of people are not jumping on Ayuk in this third round. I wouldn't. Isaiah Pacheco, not a bad pick. Deebo Samuel. I see him and Ayuk, they're basically the same person, right? So, Travis Kelce. And that gives me some opportunities. What to do. There's Rachaad White, Nico Collins, DJ Moore. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Rachaad White. Secure that second running back early, and then I've got a few wide receivers I can choose. Well, there goes Mike Evans, so that's one less that I can choose from. Mike Evans, how does he just constantly turn in these amazing seasons? Nico Collins gone with that pick. Lamar Jackson with the next one. I still need receivers. Nico Collins. That's one that I like. And Dalton Kincaid. Okay, that's just unfortunate for them. All right, so is it Ayuk or Pittman? I mean, I had Pittman last year. I had Ayuk in some leagues. DJ Moore put up some amazing numbers. Will he do it again? That's a tough question. I mean, Jalen Hurts is sitting right here staring me in the face. That could be a bit of a coup. Let's take Jalen Hurts. Remember, this is just a mock draft. I'm seeing what I can piece together. Okay, there goes Achane. And we got one that just turned into an auto draft. Jerry just turned auto draft. No, excuse me, Chandler. All right, there goes Michael Pittman. And there'll be other wide receivers for me to choose from. You're looking at T. Higgins sitting right here. I don't know how I feel about George Pickens, but we got some Zay Flowers, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen down here. So there's a lot of good things still happening in the wide receiver department, running back department. Look at Mixon. Cooper Kupp is still sitting here. Jalen Waddle and Stephon Diggs, DK Metcalf. There's so much here still, fellas. We're only on round 5 coming up. So there went Ayuk, DJ Moore, and Joe Mixon. Long ways to get back to me. You're not normally going to see me take... last year I took a lot of quarterbacks early. Trey McBride goes with 39th pick. I guess with TJ Hawkinson kind of out of the picture, well, he's going to be back somewhere around week 5 or 6. He's got to recover from that ACL, MCL. And no Kirk Cousins, so that changes things. There's Aaron Jones. and DK Metcalf. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Aaron Jones. You know, came on pretty strong at the end of the season. There goes Waddle and Kupp. Came on pretty strong at the end of the season. Didn't do much early in the season. In fact, any team where I had him, I know that I suffered early in the season. I had to hunt for someone else to use. All right, so, I mean, I really could do T. Higgins if he gets back to me. I'm looking. Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, no thanks. Stephon Diggs went with that 44th pick. Tank Dell, I don't know how he's going to perform. He's got Diggs and Nico Collins to compete with for balls. Keenan Allen coming over to, you know, this really... What did they do with the Chargers? I mean, did they just say, hey, we're going to sell the whole team but the quarterback and rebuild? Because, I mean, they brought in Gus Edwards. That had to be inexpensive, right? Saving money left and right. Okay, so after Diggs went Patrick Mahomes, number 45. Mahomes had a little bit of a disappointing season last year. And how's he going to do? How many games? Okay, let's talk about Rashee Rice for a minute. Guys, Rashee Rice, he went a little, I know he's young. He went a little off the rails. You know, I mean, pretty badly. He's going to get suspended. I don't know how many games. I'm thinking 4. I'm thinking a 4-game suspension. I don't know if he'll get any jail time. You know, I know that the NFL likes to wait to see what the courts do before they start issuing suspensions. All right, C.J. Stroud, who has those Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Stephon Diggs weapons to throw the ball to. Yeah, this guy. C.J. Stroud could be an amazing pick right here. I mean, seriously. You know, oh, there goes Bowers, Las Vegas tight end. So I could take Smith, maybe Cooper. Cooper did pretty good last year, right? There's James Cook, though, too. There's T. Higgins. I like Devonta Smith. I like the young player. Let's team him up with the Jalen Hurts that I picked earlier. You know, I know he's not going to be the A.J. Brown, right? We all know that. But he sure is going to do pretty good. Going to share that. Let's see. There goes Mark Andrews and Anthony Richardson. So that feels like I just got James Cook. I'll take him too. So now what we've got is a pretty good starting lineup here. I still need a tight end, kicker, and defense, but I can start filling in some of my bench positions now too. So after 6 rounds, you know, if I decide to wait on tight end, let's take a look at what tight ends are available. We got Kittle, we got Ingram, we got Njoku. I will not be taking Kyle Pitts. There's Ferguson, Dallas Goedert, Cole Kmet. So there's some useful fellas out here. Very useful. I mean, I like Ingram. Kittle last year had a pretty good year. Look at Ingram had a pretty good year. And Njoku had a pretty good year. Kyle Pitts, why do people keep drafting him? What? You're going to be disappointed every year. And Ferguson had a decent year. Goddard had a down year, but he was injured. Kmet had a pretty good year. So don't take Kyle Pitts. Just stop taking Kyle Pitts. Go back to all players. All right, we missed some stuff. Andrews, Richardson. I took Cook, Pickens, David Montgomery, and Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara. He's getting up there in years, fellas. But you say that, and then you look at what Raheem Mostert did last year. You know, I think he was 31 last year, and just touchdown after touchdown. Amari Cooper, Ramondre Stevenson, and Dak Prescott. Yeah, Dak. Another one had a great year. Kyler Murray. Yeah, okay. We're taking Washington quarterbacks. All right. Good luck. I wish you the best. I don't know why you just took back-to-back quarterbacks with the 6th and 7th round. I mean, what are you doing? What other quarterbacks could he have had? What does he think was going to happen? He could still have Jordan Love or Brock Purdy. And he's out here okay, whatever. All right, there goes Kittle, Burrow, and Engram. Yeah, freaking whatever. Take my players all day long. Oh, we got another couple of auto drafters. Dustin and Kevin Angel. Or Angle. I don't care. You know, it always happens. I don't know why people don't stick around to see what they can still piece together. You don't just fill in your starting lineup and then run away. Because I'm going to tell you, from experience, those late rounds, you can find some draft gold. Okay, so there goes Beckham and Njoku. What's that leave for me? What do we got here? I was just talking about some folks, and there's Najee Harris. See, that's one you can grab. There's T. Higgins. That's hope he stays healthy this year. But fellas, I think I'd like to take some Najee Harris. So let's do that. There. Now I think I'm done with running backs for a little while. I may take Jaylen Warren later on. And you may see me taking Keenan Allen here for another bench spot. I don't want to suffer too much on tight end, but really the high quality ones that I had talked about are mostly gone. Ferguson is fine. Cole Kmet is fine. So let's go back to all players. What do we got? There's Mostert. I'm not going to touch Rashee Rice. There's Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk. Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk. Calvin Ridley. Well, let's put our money on Calvin Ridley. There, now we've got some good backups there. See, if Keenan Allen had gotten back to me, you know, he went right before me. Gus Edwards went right before that, and so did T. Higgins and Zay Flowers. Then we got Baltimore, Pitts, and the New York Jets. Okay. Long ways to get back to me. Pick 8 is hard to pick from. Pick 8 is hard to pick from. All right, now here's a stupid thing. On this one, if you click on standings, I'm going to do it right after this pick. It tells you how many points you'll get, but that's assuming everybody plays every week. It's kind of silly, fellas. This is in no way indicative of how you'll finish the league. In no way does this tell you. You know? I mean, look, this guy's got 2 quarterbacks, and they're just throwing it in with the total points. This standings thing is one of the most useless pieces of information in the draft. It shouldn't even be there. It doesn't help, because that's not anything about the standings. All right, let's go back over here. Who did we get picked? It was, let's see, Xworthy, San Francisco, Baltimore, New York Jets, Tua, James Conner, Ezekiel Elliott, Dallas Goedert, Justin Tucker. All right, kickers in the 8th round. No, that's round 9. And Aubrey, and there went Jordan Love. See, now that's a good pick. You know, getting Jordan Love in round 9, that's cool. He's a good player. He's going to help you a ton. Okay. Well, there's one player that I really want. Let's take a look at defenses, and I will take Dallas. Yeah, I'm going to take the top defense in the league. You're darn right. So, on the way back now, there went Austin Eckler. On the way back, here's another one I'm looking at is just went Jaden Reed, Green Bay wide receiver. I mean, I like him. Where are we at? We've got only 3 wide receivers. So it'd be a good idea for me to take a look at a wide receiver with this pick. How about Christian Kirk? Terry McLaurin. Let's see. McLaurin had a decent year, always, and Christian Kirk had an injury. Tank Dell, shame he didn't get to play the whole season. Rashee Rice is going to be out for a few games. There's Jaylen Warren, Deontay Johnson, Jordan Addison. It's a thought if you can handle the problems with. Let's try Jordan Addison. Another great player. Let's have 2 receivers off of Minnesota. That's not silly at all. No, not silly in any way. That's just. Again, I'm not trying to put together the perfect thing here. I'm trying to see what I can put together, what players I can grab where. And with pick 8, I think I'm putting together, these are all bench. You know, Harris, Ridley, and Addison, they're bench. It's the starters where I'm making my money. Okay, so there went Christian Kirk, Tony Pollard, and Neighbors, the Giants wide receiver. Now, this is where you're going to see me taking a tight end, fellers. So, who's out here for tight end? Scroll up. Ferguson and Kmet. Ferguson, Kmet. Ferguson, Kmet. Ferguson, Kmet. Ferguson, Kmet. I like Ferguson. All right, if he gets to me, I'll take him. All right, there went Brooks, Carolina running back, and Tank Dell. Another great young talent. You want to take a third? Oh, okay, he's taking McConkey. Taking McConkey. Don't know why I'm taking McConkey, but I'm taking McConkey. We're going to tee up Ferguson and Kmet. Let's get those on the draft radar. Wide receivers still available. Chris Godwin, Cortland Sutton, Tyler Lockett, Christian Watson. You know, after a couple years of getting kind of burnt by Christian Watson, I think I'm off the bandwagon now. Rashid Shaheed, Romeo Dobbs. I don't know. There's nothing really exciting down here. All right, but we're going to take Ferguson. Get that tight end shored up. Okay, so that's 11. Coming up on 12. Let's take a look at running backs again. All right, so after Ferguson went Sutton and then Javonte Williams. Brian Robinson, Devin Singletary. Oh, Jerome Ford. That's a worthy one. Spears and Pollard, a little two-headed monster they're putting together in Tennessee. I think between the two of them, it'll be as productive as Derrick Henry used to be as a one guy. Odun's. All right, I don't know that name. And there went Sanders, Carolina running back. So we're going to take Ford. Let's draft him. And let's get Kmet off of there. I don't want a second tight end. Now I need to look for a backup quarterback. There's Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, worried about the injury. It was an Achilles, fellas. It's hard to come back from. But Trevor Lawrence is sitting right down here. I mean, I could take Trevor Lawrence or Justin Herbert as a backup quarterback and be happy as a pig playing in his own poop. Johnson, Brian Robinson from Washington, Buffalo defense, Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary taking over for Saquon Barkley. Whew. If I'm a Giants fan, I think I'm a little pissed. I think I'm a little pissed at that one. Singletary's talented, don't get me wrong. World-class athlete, professional football player in the National Football League. You have to be very talented, and the devotion that you had to put your entire life through just to get there. There goes Fairbairn, Houston kicker. So I give all these people their level of respect that they're due, but Singletary is not Saquon Barkley. I think we all know that, right? Pittsburgh's defense, Miami's defense, DeAndre Hopkins, Jared Goff. Goff would have been cool. Detroit's my favorite team, so I do like to try to get a Detroit player, but that's not in the cards this time. But I want a backup quarterback that does not have a Week 5 bye. So Justin Herbert will not be it. Leaves me literally everybody else. Literally the whole kit and caboodle. There goes Moody, San Fran kicker. I got to think about a kicker, but I don't know. I might end up just grabbing Tyler Bass or Younghoe Koo. There goes Spears. Benson, huh? And then the young quarterback out of Chicago, Williams. But I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence back up that quarterback position. All right, one more bench position and a kicker. That's all we need. One more bench and a kicker. A lot of time. There goes Jahan Dotson, T.J. Hawkinson. See, it might be worth the risk on Hawkinson because you get to put him on your injured list to begin the season for like 5-6 weeks. All right, let's go with kicker first. Jason Sanders, Tyler Bass, Younghoe Koo. I don't know. Sure, Sanders, Bass, Koo. They're all basically the same guy. So we'll just take one. Evan McPherson was another thought. You know, there's all these kickers. There's just not much difference. You know, unless you're... Oh, okay. We just had Brown, Cincinnati running back, and Cole Kmet. Finally went with the 14th round. Wow. So remember that. Some of you looking at this, you may be able to wait on Kmet for a very long time. And he's not that many points behind the rest of the fellas. What is it, 30 points different? Stafford, Dalton Schultz, Zach Charbonnet. Oh, yeah. What am I doing for a backup? I got 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers. So I think I'm going to take a wide receiver. Let's see what's there. Christian Watson. Urgh. Do not make me take Christian Watson, because I will take him again. I'm addicted to taking him. Every freaking year I've drafted him here or there. But this is just a mock draft. All right, there goes Philadelphia, Minnesota, and Pat Freiermuth. Gonna make me take... There goes New Orleans, Curtis Samuel, and Houston. Don't make me take Christian Watson. I think I might take Johnson. Yeah, I'll take Quentin Johnson. See if he can take a step forward. There's no Keenan Allen, no Mike Williams. You know, let's see what he does. All right, so we're just about finished with this draft here. I'm gonna take a let's take a look at the stupid standings. This is stupid, guys. This is stupid. This is dumb. This is dumb, 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 dumb. I don't even know why I'm looking at it. This doesn't help me with any information. Although, look, I'm number 2. Yay me on this stupid thing that gives me no information. If we go to 2023 stats, I'm number 1. So, cool. That doesn't help anything. It's stupid. But let's take a look at teams. We'll look at mine. All right, so we got Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Justin Jefferson and Devonta Smith for my wide receivers, Kyren Williams and Rachaad White at running back, Jake Ferguson at tight end, James Cook for a flex position. On the bench, we have Najee Harris, Calvin Ridley, Jordan Addison, Jerome Ford, Trevor Lawrence, and Quentin Johnston. And Jason Sanders at kicker with Dallas's defense. So, pretty darn good team. I like the way this turned out, although there's some things that I think I'd like to try to do differently. You know, I mean, depending on how the draft goes, if Amon-Ra St. Brown had gotten to me instead of Jefferson, I'd be much happier. But we don't know what Minnesota's going to look like on offense this year, guys. We don't know. Kirk Cousins is gone. So, that's a stinger. That's a stinger. Devonta Smith to go along with Jalen Hurts. Pretty happy with that as a WR2. He is not supposed to be my WR1. We're looking at 2023 stats over here. Let's look at projections for this year. And, you know, I don't know how much I can agree with a lot of these, although I think Devonta Smith, that's about right. I think Kyren Williams will get more than that. Let's see, Rachaad White at Tampa Bay running back. And then Jake Ferguson, as we talked. He might do better. He could do exactly that. James Cook, that seems about right. Maybe more than that for him for the season. Najee Harris is in a contract year. Guys, I was talking with the other half of Random City Sports Ballers last night, and I told him about how my feelings on Najee Harris this year. I had no feelings for him last year. I mean, I was like, okay, the rest of you can take him. Because he was still going, what, 5th or 6th round, something like that? In this draft, I got him in like the 7th round, 8th round? Was it 8th round? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, this is 7th round. Okay? In the 7th round, I can take Najee Harris, happily. Calvin Ridley, Jordan Addison. Addison is the same concern as Justin Jefferson. With no Kirk Cousins, what do you got? Calvin Ridley, yeah, he's a talented guy. Jerome Ford, wow, when he was filling in for our boy Nick Chubb. Hope he comes back this year, really do. Jerome Ford filled in nicely, though. Filled in very nicely. A little undersized, but he's fast. He's lightning in a bottle. All right, and then Trevor Lawrence as a backup quarterback. Yeah, all day long, fellas. And taking a chance on Johnston. Down here, Jason Sanders as a kicker. And Dallas's defense last year was the best defense in the league. 2 years ago, the best in the league. I mean, they put up points, so they should do it again. All right, well, that's our mock draft, beginning of our preparation for 2024 fantasy football. All right, fellas, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow night for an update on our baseball season.